Heart of Dixie, which just came back 2 weeks ago. And, one of the reasons why I really like this show is because it's fun. It's campy. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's showing us life in a small town and how everybody knows your name and they have all these great traditions. And, the show basically picks up right from that. They don't veer very far off course. Last season I believe that there was this big uproar because they wanted to bring a big type of a department type store into the town or not too far away from the town, and everybody was upset about it because at the end of the day this is a small community and that's how they like to be. If they wanted to move to a big metropolitan city, that's what they would do. So I like that the show tries to stay true to that. It's kind of like Gilmore Girls in that way, but this one I like a lot better. And so at the end of last season, we had Wade and Zoe's characters. They had been dating, and one of the things that I really enjoyed at the beginning of last season was that they allowed Zoe and Wade's character to actually get together. And I was happy with that because I think in the beginning everybody was sort of like, oh, Lemon and oh my goodness, what's his name's character? Oh, like that whole trio between her and him, and then with Levon, and it started to get like too much. It was like overkill. And we knew that Wade and Zoe's characters had great chemistry together, but everybody was like, oh no, she's destined to be, and even her character was like, oh no, she needs to be with the other guy. What's his name? Who's the lawyer? Oh, I can't remember. Insert graph here, like with his title name, when I finally remember it. And it just started to get a little bit like, okay, we get it. Everybody loves Zoe. Let's have her pick a side and let's stick with it. So I like that they actually went with it. But then they kind of, as much as they let it happen, they didn't really let it happen for too long. And I was really disappointed with that because I would have liked to have seen, Zoe and Wade be in a real relationship for a while and not just like have it be for a few episodes and then we already knew that they were opposites. So we didn't need to have it be that is ultimately why they broke up or that he kind of cheated or all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the season when Wade finally says to Zoe that I love you, she just kind of looks at him and it's just kind of like thanks, and then kind of like walks away and did one of those 90210 moments where it's like I choose myself and I'm going to New York and I'm gonna go back home for a couple of months, and then it turns out it's 5 months. And so anyways, I was a little bit disappointed with that. So that being said, we've started up a new season now, and there, the first couple episodes were sort of her coming back to town with a new boyfriend who's of course now a fish out of water, and she's trying to introduce him to their town and what a great little town it is. And so it'll be interesting, and I'm glad that they haven't been like, okay, now there's a three-way triangle between her and Zoe and this dude and her other boyfriend whose name, it's killing me that I can't remember right now. So the show's still fun, it's still campy, and obviously Lemon Breland's character is pregnant because they're trying to hide her behind every single bush and plant a possible, like a countertop, like a picture of Drew. Like, it's just so ridiculous that they're trying to cover up her pregnancy. I find it quite funny because obviously we all know that Lemon is really slender and they're always, more than willing to show off her figure, but they are like literally hiding her behind every piece of object on that show right now, which I find quite hilarious. So her character's kind of floundering about because obviously they're not really putting her into any super serious storylines because I guess she's pregnant and they're trying to avoid having to show her full length as much as possible. And so, she's sort of been MIA, which is okay with me because her character is super annoying and she drives me up the wall. Levon is dating, and that relationship is going well, and now his niece, I believe, has come to town, and so she's a new interesting character that they've brought on the canvas. And actually quite a couple people have left, which I'm okay with too, because the show can get a little too much, and there's always just over the top characters always. But one of the things that it's true to at its heart is it's a fun campy show, which is trying to depict like a small southern town, and I'm okay with that. It's fun, it's campy, but I have a feeling the storyline with her new boyfriend, it's gonna start to, because he's a writer, and he's, like I said, he's still trying to acclimate himself to this small little town of Bluebell, and because all these characters that live there are so over the top and out of anything that he's ever seen living in New York, I just have a feeling he's going to end up writing a book about this small town, and everybody's going to be upset about it, and Zoe's going to be upset about it, and that's ultimately what's probably going to break them up. So I'm pretty much predicting that that's going to be what comes down the line with this storyline between the two of them, because obviously he's not going to stick around Bluebell forever, but he's like providing a good distraction. So that's basically the Heart of Dixie in a nutshell.